we can bring in the technical expertise when we need it, and that way the 5, and those aren't the only 5. I'm going to San Mateo next week to talk with some folks up there that are doing something very similar as well. So there's a lot of these projects going on throughout California, Sacramento, Oakland. So trying to bring all these things together, share information, but have these hubs be autonomous is really important for us. So I don't want to bore you with a lot of talking, so I'm going to step aside, and I'm going to have Lucila share her experience with this. Susie's Farm is very close to the city, so if Lucila will have you, it's a great place to go experience agriculture, very close to here. Tierra Miguel is an hour away, so if you can't make it there, try and see how food is actually produced on the commercial scale, and their food's pretty awesome. You can also go and see them at the farmers markets.
Okay, well, my name is Lucila de Alejandro from Susie's Farm. And when Jonathan and I were talking earlier this week about how we wanted to roll this thing, I said, okay, Jonathan, what are we going to do? And he said that he was going to do a slide presentation. And I said, well, maybe to liven things up a little bit, you know, it's the afternoon of the last day. Maybe you can do a little table dancing and I can call bingo. And then we can get the people excited. And he said, you know, I think you should rap. And so I said, okay. So, I do have my cheat sheet, but if you will indulge me, I'm going to take my shoes off. Well, I'm Lou D, Susie's my farm. Bring food to people, doing no harm is our goal. And here's how we meet it. Grow the lettuce and the corn and the cabbage and the beets. Growing food is easy, I say, but lots of other things stand in the way of our goal. So what do? Join a group of others like us, that's our crew. San Diego Growers Project's what we are called. It's really just a way to get the problem solved. Standing together, we are united. Our vision is farsighted. We are delighted to make our power more effective. We've joined the collaborative. That's our objective. Aggregate. Well, what does that mean? Farmers come together and make up a team. We all bring the food to a central location. And then it's parceled out. Yeah, that's allocation. Bring the food to the people in need. Bring the food to the people. That's how we'll succeed. Obstacles. Well, there will be plenty. Different ways of working for our cognoscenti. We're riding the wave of desire. This is the kind of food that people require. We can make the dream a reality for every single person in our community. The path may be short, the path may be long. Let's keep our food where it belongs in San Diego. Questions? Bye. Okay. So you're not saying that was indicative of the rap. You're just saying that you're in the wrong place at the right time. You were in the wrong place at the right time for that magic. I appreciate it. As Jonathan said, the rap basically really highlighted everything that he's talking about. San Diego farmers grow a lot of excellent food. Our challenge is to get it to the people. That's what we want. Not just because it's our livelihood, but because it's our passion. We wouldn't be doing it if that's not what we wanted to do. Jonathan's right. A lot of my farmer friends are really small farmers. They're really, really small. And farming is two things. There's the love of what you do, which is the farming, and then there's the business aspect, which I see some of you from yesterday, and we talked a little bit about that. A lot of my farmer friends get into farming because they want to farm, and they don't necessarily have a business background. So they don't necessarily know how to get the food to the people. And that's what's going to be great about this. We have 3.2 million people in the county from the last census, plus minus, in San Diego, and over 6,600 farmers. So how do we help each other get the food to the people? And that's what we're hoping to do with the Growers Project. If we can get that central hub, if we can get all my farmer friends bringing their food there, if we can get someone who's not a farmer to help us coordinate the bids with the schools or the senior centers or the hospitals or the other institutions, then those are the ways that we can slowly start to feed our own food shed, feed our own people. So that's kind of what we've got going. Jonathan, what else?
So this, when this came about, I guess we're going on almost 2 years working on this. There wasn't, I mean, there were concepts like this is how it's going to go. But now, I mean, we have, for those that know, $16.1 million that came into the county to fight childhood obesity. And the San Diego growers are receiving some of that to continue our work. I mean, we've been recognized as doing some amazing things, and we have funding to bring in experts who can help us. We're going to be hiring a farm-to-institution coordinator to work with the institutions directly. I'll be hiring a market manager, someone that has the business skills to develop this, develop the markets, and this is something that is going to happen. And according to our grant timeline, by the end of March 2012. But, quote me on that. But I mean, it's happening, and we're already coordinating production. We haven't incorporated as a cooperative or an LLC or any type of business entity yet, but that is likely into something. First stage is a feasibility study business plan where we're going to evaluate organizational structures as well as places to put the market. So we're going to look at different sites, what's best for the growers. There's a lot of farmers in North County and East County, and so where's the best place to have that aggregation distribution? Also, we want retail. We want people to be able to come in and buy product. There's a lot of chefs that already support this, and they don't have to jump through the hoops that institutions do to get product. So making it most accessible to as many people is definitely what we're looking for. So we may end up with a rural North County aggregation distribution point and an urban retail, smaller aggregation distribution point. So there's a lot of possibilities, but that's our first step, evaluating what's best for the most number of people, keeping the farmer's interest in mind. So we're going to have people besides myself and all the farmers that have volunteered. No farmers have actually appreciated any return on this financially. They probably are losing stuff for coming to the meetings that I ask them to all the time. And, so it's great, and the farmers see that this is something that's for them, but also for the whole community of San Diego.
And if I can just speak to that also, the thing about us for the farmers is wholesalers can oftentimes sell our product for us at the same price that we can sell our product for us. But to get that product at the same price that we would sell it, we have to give them a cut so that they can get it out there for us. And so we don't end up making money on what we're kind of already not making money on. So in this situation, the farmer would be in control of their product all the way through to the end user. And that's really exciting and innovative. What a concept, you know, like I'm going to get to sell maybe 500 pounds of collard greens, and Phillips H. Mountain also has collard greens, and so does Tierra Miguel. We all have collard greens, and Fallbrook Unified School District wants collard greens on their menu. So I'm not responsible for all of it, nor is Phil, nor is Jonathan, nor is, you know, Gemma. We're not all responsible, so we really are working as a team. And you know, we keep talking about San Diego Unified because that is the biggest school district in San Diego, but there's a lot of smaller school districts, and or even smaller hospitals, or smaller senior centers, or Head Start programs, or like preschool programs. And what's exciting about being part of that is San Diego Unified is like driving a Mack truck down the freeway at 65 miles an hour. And asking them to make a U-turn or even to stop and change direction is really, really hard. But we can start to approach smaller school districts, or maybe, you know, a senior center where they operate 3 or 4 senior centers. And that's more like driving like a VW Bug down the freeway, and it's easier to slow down and stop and make a turn. Robin and I talk a lot about that with our farm, right? We own the farm, so if tomorrow